The first part of being successful on an assignment is knowing exactly what's expected from you, and then of course how you will be assessed or graded on that assignment so that you can make sure to meet all of the expectations. So I want to take a few minutes here to go through some of the grading aspects of the blog project. This information that we're looking at here is from the blog project details link that is available in Canvas. The first thing that I want to point out is that this project is going to be worth 200 points total. And over the course of the semester, I will be grading it 4 times, which means I do not grade it after each entry that you write. I grade it at 4 separate points throughout the course of the semester. So that means as 200 points, each time I grade it, there will be worth 50-point assignments there. The next thing that you'll see here is that your due dates are listed in your syllabus and on Canvas. And if we look here in Canvas, you will see that in week 3, for example, you've got blog entry number 1 that is expected to be written. And then again here in week 4, you've got blog entry number 2 that is expected to be written. Down here at the bottom of week 4, what you'll see is a blog assessment number 1. So the difference between these links is these are your assignments. When you click on blog entry number 1, or down here on blog entry number 2, you will find the assignment that tells you what you need to write about for that blog entry. The blog assessment, however, tells you when I will be grading. So there will be 4 blog assessments throughout the course. Here it is. Throughout the course of the semester. And those are those 50-point assignments, those 50-point grading periods that I just mentioned. When you click on one of the blog assessments, what it will tell you in there is it tells you exactly which entries that I will be grading for. So blog assessment 1 indicates your grade for blog entries number 1 and 2, which means that for this first 50-point assessment period, I am expecting you to have entries posted in your blog for entry number 1 and 2 by the due date for the blog assessment period, which is September 21st. Now the blog assessment is due, so that means those 2 entries are due by September 21st. But if we look back at where the blog entries are assigned, you will see, for example, that blog entry number 1, which is part of that first assessment period, is due by Sunday on the 14th. What that means is that I will not actually be grading it until the next blog assessment period, which is down here, which is complete on the 21st. Okay, so that means that you have just a little bit of wiggle room on some of these blog entries. You always want to be keeping your eye out for these blog assessments that are listed in Canvas. Click on them and see which entries I'm expecting you to have completed by then. I do not encourage you to wait until the last minute to complete all of those before the blog assessment period. You've got blogs assigned almost every week, and I do that because I want you working on the assignment gradually and continually throughout the course of this semester. But please know that there is just a little bit of wiggle room between potentially when some of the entries are assigned and when you will actually be getting graded for those entries. The next thing that's listed here is that you need to have the expected number of entries. So as we just saw for blog assessment number 1, I'm expecting you to have 2 entries. When I go to grade that assignment, if you are missing one of those entries, you will lose points based on the number of entries that I expected and the number of entries that you actually had completed by that due date and that grading period. To ensure that I can give you credit and that I know which of your entries is in response to which blog assignment, you need to number each entry, and give it a title so that if you are responding to blog entry number 3, then you will make sure that it says on the title of that post number 3, and then of course as well the title for that entry, whatever it is that pertains to the topic that you're writing about. I do expect that your entries remain, as it says here, consistent and maintain the tone, the style, the voice, perspective, and the direction of your blog. So that is a concern about the rhetoric of your blog. Additionally, of course, I am grading you on the content, the information, and the writing that you include in each of your posts. This here is a quick glance at the rubric that I will be using to grade and score your blogs. This rubric will be in Canvas, and when I'm finished grading it, you will see where your scores landed for each of these categories, but you will see here that there's a category for the setup, which is the start of your entry, the point and the support, which is the information and the body, that major content in your entry, the sign off, which is going to be how you closed your entry, the visual appeal, which is how your blog looks overall with consideration of your audience, your use of visuals, the text, the color, the overall organization and structure of your blog. And then, of course, your writing conventions, which means that I do expect this to be polished, academic, edited writing that is clean and correct. The last thing that you'll see here is this little piece here that says effective commenting. Remember that you are expected to read and comment on your classmates' blogs. You are not restricted to reading and looking at only the blogs from your classmates. You've got links for all 3 of my sections this semester. So once you find a blog that you like, go ahead and follow it and keep it as part of the blogs that you continue to read and review throughout the semester. You are expected to comment. This is part of creating a real audience that we are trying to appeal to and seeing who's out there, who's reading your blog and what they think about it. As far as the comments are concerned, what I'm looking for each assessment period is to see that you have commented on at least 4 of your classmates' blogs at some point during that assessment period. Thoughtful comments, not just a looks good, something that shows them that you actually read it and that you have a response to it, whether it's that you like how it's organized or it was an interesting topic or you really like how they connected it all together with the visuals and the writing, etc. So hopefully this has clarified some of my expectations so that you better understand how you will be graded and assessed for your blog project this semester.